What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is September the 5th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is focusing on today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, we just had some big ones, non-farm payroll and also unemployment. Non-farm came in at 22,000, forecast of 75. Unemployment 4.3, forecast of 4.2. So not necessarily the best. Market does seem to like this though. So currently Dow is down 0.14, S&P down or in the green 0.13, NASDAQ up 0.52. So when it comes down to previous labor linked data, such as even yesterday when we had ADP, day prior when we had Jolt, when we had that negative data, the market didn't really like it and it kind of freaked out. But maybe for this, they finally accepted that having some negative data is a positive and that it potentially does justify rate cuts. We'll have to wait and see how the market does play out, but potentially best case scenario, you might see the market start to really price in even a 50 basis point cut for the upcoming September 17th meeting, and that would be huge. Aside from that though, fear and greed index, you see it under the greed category, so meaning people's appetite for risk is on the table, so that will make pretty good for day trades and a lot of more speculative topics and stocks. Starting off though, Sofi, no news, no SEC filings from them today. They do have a fireside chat early next week. But aside from that, it's just piggybacking off the broader market. When it comes down to today, we always have to watch for this. So this is the open interest. So 15,000 at that 26, 10,000 at the 26.50, and then 13,000 at that 27. So potentially by the second half of today, if let's say SoFi is flirting and lingering around that $26 mark, you might have shorts try to suppress it. So just kind of take a mental note of this and don't be surprised as well if it does get pushed lower, sub 26. Or even 26.50 or whatever else. But shorts going into today, 9.42% of the free float's being shorted. They aren't doing anything in the morning, which is a good thing. Yesterday, they interestingly enough did increase. They kind of broke their trend, but I don't really see any like substantial move happening today from them. Again, unless let's say SoFi does land close to that 26.50, 27, 26, those whole numbers associated to options. Right now though, with it at 25.77, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 25.65 is going to be a strong support. And then 26.34 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. In my opinion, I don't think this R1 will be touched. Most likely it'll gravitate towards that 26 dollar mark, probably break above it a couple times, but it might get kind of settle roughly around that $26 mark. Regardless, watch for that 25.65 and then 24.96 as support levels. Moving on, the most heavily traded stock so far in the morning is Opendoor. Going back over here, people's appetite for risk is on the table. So of course, this stock hasn't had any news, any catalysts for a while now, and it's been doing wonders. So over the last 5 days alone, up 36.69%. So absolute crazy stuff. 36.94% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 157 million shares overall being shorted. So whoever is shorting Opendoor definitely does have some fairly deep pockets because they've been losing a lot of money, but they've been holding on pretty much for dear life because ever since the pull lower that did occur at the beginning of August, it's kind of settled roughly around that 22 to 24% range. So yeah, shorts have deep pockets. They're kind of able to hold on for dear life, at least for the last week or so. But with it at 625, it is trading between this R2 and this R1. So 560 is going to be a strong support. I don't really see that being touched. And then 658 is going to be that next strong target / resistance. Moving on, ticker is KO. The only reason why they are in the green is because there's some executives moving around. So very interesting stuff. What I have seen lately is a lot of good credible companies such as KO and a couple others. They've actually just been going down, even though nothing fundamentally has changed with the company itself, just that there is a broader rotation occurring where big money is kind of moving out of this, so heavy dividend stocks, into more speculative plays such as Opendoor. So in reality, if you do believe in kind of like dividends and whatever else, this might be a time to potentially buy, but nonetheless, they are getting a lot of volume today and they're not really moving all too much. But like I said, it's because of the executive change and whatever. So 0.92% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 35.7 million shares overall are being shorted, with it at 68.28. It is trading between this S1 and this S2. 67.53 is going to be a strong support. 68.34 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So this stock obviously doesn't move all too much, so you won't be seeing 10+% moves from it today. So don't anticipate to do much day trading from this one. Ticker is AVGO, so Broadcom. They are moving up like crazy because of some kick-ass earnings that came out after hours yesterday. So up 13.88%. 1.01% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 46.8 million shares overall being shorted. So shorts already during the pre-market are increasing 1.59 million shares, but I still don't really see it being like them being a big influence. So clearly, based on the overall volume, like big money really wants to push this higher. And on a technical standpoint, assuming it is able to hold this 343, then most likely, at least in the foreseeable future, you will see 491. So this right now, what's happening today is crazy stuff, and this is a massive breakout opportunity for it. So definitely stay tuned for that. And most likely, because of what's happening, I would anticipate on a options standpoint that a lot of individuals are going to be buying very long calls on it. So again, something just to kind of consider as well. Aside from that, ticker is AIFF. So they are up 2.99%. Nothing overly crazy. The reason why they are up is because of this. So it looks like they announced a partnership with Healing Maps to offer cognitive, I'm not going to butcher that name, it's too early for that, but yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. So this is ultimately what is moving it higher. 18.45% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 1.61 million shares overall being shorted. So most likely there'll be a big influence for today. With it right now at 273, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. 290 is going to be the next strong target / resistance, followed by 336. And then if you're wanting a deal for whatever reason, 244 is going to be a strong support. And if it does break below this S1, then most likely consider kind of this push higher, just null and void. So if you're wanting to day trade, just kind of take note of a lot of these. But today seems to be a big one. I think out of all the stocks I did bring up, Opendoor is going to get the most attention. And that's just because of what's been happening with it, more momentum and everything else. So let me know your thoughts on Opendoor. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.